am I affected by the abuse I get? Hello, I am off to the NEC show, the Caravan Camping and Motorhome show at Birmingham, and this is going to be a behind the scenes video. Sometimes you might think that, basically just point a camera and talk, but there's much more to that. So today I'm going to be giving you a tour of exactly what I do. And I'm going to be driving up in this, because a few weeks ago when I came down to Tamar Caravan Centre, and I did the video on the 3 campervans, the Ford Monza, the Ford Tracker and the Ford Voyager, I got talking to them and they were going up and they didn't know how to transport 2 vehicles. So I stepped in and I volunteered and I said I'd actually take one up for them. So I'm going to be taking that up now, getting up to Birmingham, and then we shall see what happens when we get up there. So I've literally just arrived at the hotel after being in the NEC show, because obviously I had to take the vehicle in there. It needed to be cleaned first because being in a white van, it was a little bit dirty. But I went in and oh my word, what you actually see of the show on show day with a beautiful carpet out and everything looking absolutely pristine. Not quite the same as it is at the moment. Well, it is now because it is being done. Yeah, I managed to actually get in and have a good look around, which is something I normally don't do until the first day, the first morning. But I had that ability to be able to just have a walk round and see what was there. Yeah, the carpet isn't out. Everybody's still unpacking, getting the vehicles on there. There's rubbish everywhere, cardboard everywhere. A lot goes into these shows. A lot of work, hard effort and graft goes in by a lot of people involved in it. But imagine when I get in there tomorrow, as will you do, it'll just look absolutely perfect. But I've seen some absolute beauties, and by the time this video goes out, you'll have obviously seen them anyway, because this is going to be going out after my other videos have gone out. But yeah, these pictures just gives you an idea as to kind of what goes on before. So anyway, like I said, I'm at the hotel. I've not even unpacked yet. Got my stuff there all ready, and yeah, I'm in a hotel. The Genting. Unfortunately, I've not actually got a very good view, as you can see. That's kind of my view. Sun is setting. It is now about 5 o'clock-ish. And yeah, it's time to get something to eat, relax a little bit, and have a good think about exactly what videos I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm going to get changed, go out, get some food, and no doubt I shall see you again in the morning. Good morning. I have literally just woken up and just obviously put a top on because nobody wants to see my naked body. And I was thinking last night, like, why people are going to be thinking, why stay in a hotel rather than an actual camper van? Well, because obviously I drove up that van, which is now on show, then I wasn't actually able to stay in the camper van. But when I come up to this, I do like to stay in a hotel anyway, because it is quite nice to speak to other people around. Last night I bumped into quite a few people who I knew, had a good chat, and actually found out some interesting information which I don't really want to make public at the moment. It is public, but I just want to find out things 100% certain first, and then no doubt I'll do a video on it because it's pretty sad. But I'm gonna have a shower now, go and get some breakfast, and then get over to the show. So breakfast done, and I'm now on my way to go inside the NEC. So I've got a plan. I always have a plan. I don't just turn up to these events and think, right, I'm just going to get my camera out and start filming. So over the last few weeks, I've actually come up with, I think it's 4 video ideas. I've actually got them here. So when I first started coming, got myself a couple of these little notebooks, and yeah, you can see I've got ideas written down there. So one of the videos is behind the scenes, which obviously this one is. I've got one about what's new at the NEC, and by the time this comes out, you'll have seen probably all of these. What's happening to the T6.1? There's absolutely loads of them inside, so that video may well happen. And then I think it's the best camper van. So yeah, so I've got 4 ideas. What actually I do, we'll find out actually when I get in there and have a proper look around, because I'll do the recce, take a couple of hours, just have a walk round, see what's there, see what's going to be worth talking about, and then yeah, we shall take it from there. But look at this beautiful scenery. Nice, isn't it? Resorts World, NEC Birmingham. It's a nice place to stay. Lots of restaurants, bars, and like I said, I bumped into a few people last night and had some good conversations. But it's good to talk about the industry, finding out what's going on, who's going where, who's building what, how they're building it, who's passed NCC, what beds failed, and you know, all that kind of interesting stuff to talk about. So yeah, so here's the NEC. It's the small halls. The February show is always the smaller halls, as opposed to the October one, which is the massive halls, and that's one where I certainly do a heck of a lot of walking on. But yeah, gonna get inside now, get my press pass, and do some more recceing and see what's going on. So let's go inside. So I collected my pass from the press office and I made my way to the halls, first to complete my recce, and then I got my camera out and started to film. I actually bumped into somebody who I knew, so I was actually quite fortunate that whilst I was up there doing some filming, I actually got him to actually film a bit of kind of behind the scenes for a few minutes, just so he could actually see me speaking to some other people, just so I could kind of capture that as it was happening. So he captured that whilst I was on the Isabella stand. And I spent lots of time speaking to the exhibitors, slide pods who were there for the first time. They showed me the new design, the Slide Pod 4, which I mentioned in the previous video. I think that was my first show video I actually uploaded. And then I also had a good chat with My Rider, telling them how good I thought that the My Rider 24 was. The bike, of course, which is now award-winning. We also discussed the My Rider 20, and that I absolutely loved that colour. And he showed me in a bit more detail, showed me how it folds to a compact size, yet it still has that bigger wheel. Maybe I might have to take one of those for a spin. I spoke to Vinny on the bespoke stand and he went through the changes which they'd made to the fridge. So now when you open the door, it also opens the fridge itself, which was something I suggested a little while ago. Anyway, I do spend a lot of time talking whilst I'm at the show because I really like it. Not only to the exhibitors and people from the industry, but you guys too. It's really nice to hear your stories and answer lots of your questions, several of which I've got coming up later on, including your thoughts and my response to the stick, which I often receive in the comments. Anyway, my first day started at about 8:30 in the morning at the show, and then I left the show at about 6 o'clock after walking about 6 miles. That was quite touching. I went to see one of the vans, which by the time that this video comes out, you've probably actually seen it. And I actually got choked up. There was a van in there, which was a crafter, Man TG, built by Cactus. And this van was built specifically for a family who have a disabled child. And without this van being built the way the van was built, he wouldn't have been able to experience van life. That outdoor lifestyle, which obviously we all love, we all enjoy. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I'm here. That's why you're watching this video. Now, the van was specifically made to requirements to enable this boy to be able to get in and out of the van for a start, and then also be able to get in and out of bed. So if you haven't seen that video, then do have a look at it. It's probably going to be titled something like the best camper vans at the show. And yeah, I got quite touched by that. Anyway, it's been a long day. It is now exactly 6 o'clock. So I'm leaving, going to go back to the hotel. Going to try and get an edit of a video done if I can stay awake, because I'm absolutely knackered. I've got to eat as well. Although the hotel I'm staying at has actually got a spa, a swimming pool, which is included. So you never know, I might end up going in there. So yeah, it's been a good day. met lots of people, met lots more of you come up to me, telling me your stories, what you've liked at the show, you know, why you watch my videos, which particular video you've seen, and what you've got. Yeah, it's just really nice to kind of hear from you, speak to you. So yeah, if you do see me in the future, then do not hesitate to come and say hello, because yeah, it's always nice to chat to you. I do enjoy it. Don't worry, you're not pestering me. It's good to talk. We're all here to kind of help each other. And yeah, that's what it's all about. Anyway, look at this. Looks amazing at night. Not quite sure if you can see that on the camera. Anyway, I'm going to get inside now. Let's see if I can get a video edited, and shall catch you later. So in my hotel room, I started to edit the first video, and I made some pretty good progress, but I wasn't actually intending on getting it out that night, because I try and do my best. I try and actually get it to the best quality I can. Yeah, and I know I do fail, which I'll mention in a moment. I am learning, but I'm improving all the time, I hope. I didn't edit all night because I needed to get out and get some food. And at this point, I spoke to lots more people from the industry. Vanshades, Isabella, Truma, Dormobile. I also saw Bespoke Leisure, Eco Wagon, Bowden's, Rolling Homes, and many others speaking to each other. Some of these were even speaking to each other. I think it's really good that so many people from the industry respect each other despite being competitors, and that is a real positive, a positive endorsement for a company. If they're respected by others in their own industry, then it says a lot about a company. And believe me, that there are a lot of companies that these guys do not respect because they just don't do the job properly. Regular names are often coming up, although none of which are at the show. Anyway, as much as I enjoyed the conversations, I wasn't staying up for all hours. I needed some rest for another busy day ahead. So I'm up for my final day. Just had breakfast. I did actually manage to get out and have a swim, which was absolutely lovely. Sun was just rising about 7 o'clock and out in the nice warm hot tub. Yeah, nice. Refresh the mind, get ready, prepared for the day, for my final day. Got a lot of filming to do today. Some really, really interesting stuff. Yeah, got it all planned out as I normally do. Got my case ready to go, so got to go and check out now. Make my way over to the NEC for my final day. But it's amazing. You kind of got to think about all these manufacturers who are actually there, all the brands, all the accessory suppliers, Vanshades, who I bumped into last night and had a good chat with him. They're here all week. It might seem like a bit of a holiday, but they actually put in hours of work. It's actually really difficult for them. It obviously costs them a lot of money to be at the show. It is a very good show, and yeah, they certainly do put in the hours. So yeah, let's get over there, and I shall see you in a minute. So as part of the videos which I do the A-roll, which is obviously the talking bit, the bit where I'm talking about what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing, etc., etc. But then the secondary part of it is the B-roll. So that's kind of like the nice, smooth shots such as that. Now, in a lot of my videos, maybe I probably do over edit, because I know others don't edit as much as I do, and actually they get better views than I do. Or maybe just I'm boring, or maybe I'm dull and whatever. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I do. So for that, I obviously need to do some slow motion, and that's what I do. So I'm off now to see some of the vans which I've already had a look at, to get some B-roll shots so I can edit them over them. So let's get down. Latitude Roof Tents is the first place I'm going to go. So I shall shoot some B-roll there, and then move on and go to all the other places which I've already been to. Carrying on with the B-roll, and this one behind me, this cactus, is actually the van I got really emotional about when I was actually filming yesterday. So coming to do a bit of the B-roll for it. At the moment, just get a few additional shots, some great external features to this, as well as the internal features, which is what gives this van really its speciality. It is really, really special, and it just gives that access to van life, which otherwise wouldn't have been available. So I'm just going to get in and do some shots of this. It's great getting B-roll, but I tell you what, a van which I haven't looked at today, look at this. I got my B-roll done what I wanted to do, and I did say yesterday, when I did one of the videos... My channel. subscriber just made a comment as I'm talking. Happens a lot. Yeah, I don't mind people saying hello. It's brilliant. But yeah, stop and have a chat. More than happy to answer any of your questions. I know quite a few of you have had some questions today, and they've been good. I do enjoy it. But yeah, I said yesterday that I was going to buy a book. So I've bought the No Fuss Travel Guide, the dog-friendly one, which is going to be great for Lottie, getting us out and about there, seeing these different places which we've not seen before. So I shall no doubt feature those on the channel sometime soon. Anyway, back to the press office. I'm going to grab a drink because I'm absolutely gasping. Swap cameras over and go and do some more filming. So that's it. Well, when I say that's it for the actually being at the show, because that's not really where it ends, is it? Because I'm now going to do all the editing, which is actually quite a fun bit, and I do enjoy doing it. But I'm now at the train station. Obviously, I didn't drive up this time. Well, I did drive up, but I drove up in the in that van. So obviously, I need a different means of transport to get back. So yeah, catching the train. Going to get the laptop out whilst I'm on the train, do a bit of editing, and hopefully we'll get the first video out quite soon. I did start editing the other night, so I shall do a bit and yeah, see how soon I can get that video out. So yeah, wait for the train now. Got about a 4-hour journey back, and yeah, 4 hours of editing, and then much more when I get home. So yeah, just wait for the train now. So, having nearly completed the editing on the train, I got home and I continued to edit. And this is a crucial part that you don't see. There are visuals which you see, but then there's also the sound. And this also requires a lot of work due to the amount of background noise. I do spend a lot of time to make this quite kind of a lot clearer, to give you that better experience. Now, the van was specifically made. Although if you're somebody who thinks my voice is irritating, then this only makes it clearer. Unfortunately, it doesn't get rid of it. And yeah, his voice irritates me is a comment which I've seen in the comments. What's the point of that? You know, if you don't like me, don't watch me. That's fine. But there's no need to make a comment. Like, why? Anyway, I also sometimes add text and other effects. There is, of course, the B-roll which I do, and the photos. So for some videos, it can actually take me about an hour to edit just 1 minute of footage. This isn't easy, and it is only a hobby. It's something which I really enjoy. I'm certainly not a professional, and I just do which the best I can do. And yes, again, I am learning, and I do actually accept your constructive criticism. Quite a few constructive criticisms in the videos, the last couple I've done, which I'll come on to in a minute. After I've completed the edit, I then need to render it and then upload it to YouTube along with a title and a thumbnail. And I generally try and schedule them for about 4, 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock, sometimes even later on a Sunday for you to enjoy. Or not, as sometimes the case may be, which does lead me on to some questions. So these are questions which some of you actually asked me at the show, and a few of them were actually asked more than once. One of them made me laugh, and that was in relation to others on YouTube. Like, why do they get lots of views when they're rubbish? And really, you know, if they're rubbish videos, then why are they getting views? They can't be. They just have a different appeal to the person who said it. Everybody has different opinions. Like I said, somebody says my voice is irritating. Yet, however many thousand subscribers I've got and how many thousands of views which I've got on some of my videos, it can't be the same for everybody. But equally, thousands and tens and thousands, or hundreds of thousands are probably watching their videos and don't like me. Everybody's different. We've all got different tastes. So although you might think that their videos are rubbish, others people don't. There was also a comment that somebody made about my view numbers, saying that I should have more views, which was, to be honest with you, really, really kind of them to say. But I know my particular videos are actually far less likely to get a number of views more than that the lifestyle ones. Someone who entertains, somebody who shows trips away, cooking, eating and exploring. They're entertainment channels, and they're far more likely to be getting that bigger view numbers. Like, every time you tune into one of their videos, whatever date's released, you know it's going to be released. It's like, what are they up to this week? Where have they been? Where have they parked up this week? But you don't really get that with mine, do you? Because You never really know what I'm going to be talking about. Yes, I'm probably going to be talking about campervans, probably going to be talking about maybe a product of campervans, maybe there's something to do with the safety, but it's never really an adventure. So I'm not providing that hook that somebody's really going to come in and want to watch my videos. We're just different. So, you know, that's why my views are going to be naturally lower than some of these other creators. You know, my videos are more informative. I'm trying to actually, you know, help people, and I'm happy and I'm very grateful for the number of views which I've got. Now, my expectation for this video is actually going to be quite low. I don't expect to get many views at all, far less than the show videos which I've got. It's just not going to be a topic of interest for most people. But for those who are interested, then I hope you've actually found it useful. The next question, which again was asked a couple of times, was would I go full time? And I'd absolutely love to, spending every day in the outdoors, having fun making videos. But the reality is now, this is a hobby. And to go full time, somebody would have to pay me. And I don't want to receive money for the reviews or anything which I do, because I want to be able to say what I want. I want to be able to say it as it is without that feeling of maybe I shouldn't say that because I'm being paid. Because I'm not being paid, I can say pretty much anything I want within reason. And someone asked how I cope on my own. And this was in reference to me waiting for a van. I stood there patiently waiting because I don't believe that I should be going in a van ahead of somebody else because somebody else might be buying. I'm not. I'm just waving a camera around and hoping somebody watches my videos. And they said that they'd actually seen somebody who was not waiting to get in a van because they had a whole team with them. They had somebody holding a camera, somebody holding the lighting, somebody doing the sound, and they also had people to ensure the coast was clear. Well, I am a one-man band. I do it all alone, and I actually enjoy it. We're all different. We all have a different story to tell and a different way of telling it. There's loads of people at the shows with cameras, all giving different opinions, thoughts, and showing various different angles and coming at it from a different perspective. Some have expensive cameras. Some are just using the phones. Some are businesses with camera operators, lighting and sound. And I imagine those productions are for something more than just a YouTube video like this one is. It's great having all these different people, as it gives people different choice, different views, and hopefully we're all going some way to helping you, show the ideas, giving you some inspiration for things which you might not have seen, which if you didn't go to the show yourself. I cope on my own. I enjoy it. It's a hobby, but seeing that the difference which I have made to, yeah, I know it's only going to be a few people, but it's nice to know that I have made a difference. And it does lead me on to something else, and that's which a few of you have mentioned about some of the comments which I get in my videos. And I can give you a perfect example of some things that have happened in these videos. And that is, am I affected by the abuse I get? And certain variations of that question. And the simple answer is no. Well, not now anyway. I've put myself on a social media platform so people can say anything which they want to me in the comments, because the comments are totally faceless. So I should expect a backlash. It's just how I deal with it is how I'm going to respond to it. And to be perfectly honest with you, if I'm abused, if I'm personally attacked, then about me as opposed to the content which I'm making, then the comments just get deleted. I just get rid of it. Things such as SHIT videography, you're effing boring, your voice is irritating. You know, there have actually been much worse. These comments don't help anybody. Like, what's the point of them? Just completely pointless. Yeah, you might be saying it expecting others to kind of jump on your bandwagon and have a pop at me, but really, what's the point? I'm trying to help people. Like, at the end of the day, you know, why be so negative about it? So if you comment something like that, then it's going to get deleted. However, if somebody says, like a few of you did, that I need a wider lens, or you could improve your video by doing this, or you need to do this, or you need to do that, then that's perfectly fine. You giving me feedback helps me. You know, you can see those comments because those are still there. And sometimes some of you disagree with what I say. You have a different opinion. And those comments are still there as well. You can tell me something is rubbish when I've said that I like it. That's your opinion. And I'm pleased to have you comment, to, you know, to say that you think it's rubbish. as long as you're not attacking me, I've got no reason to delete the comments. You know, there was one person who was arguing with me a few months ago, and I did actually do a follow-up video kind of mentioning it. And there was this great big long thread where I can't even remember what it was about now, but he was basically completely disagreeing with me and getting the wrong end of the stick, that I was saying something which I wasn't actually saying something. And we had this massive, massive disagreement. And I think he said more than once, "Oh, you're going to delete this now because I've uncovered you," or something like that. Well, no, that comment's still there. That great big thread is still there. I'll actually pop I'll overlay it so you can actually see it, so you can go and find it if you want to. I think it was on the market crash video, but I will confirm. I'm happy for people to disagree with me. You know, I'm open and honest with what I say. So if you disagree with me, then say so in the comments. Let me know. And if you've got any suggestions, give me some constructive criticism. You know, I can listen to it. You know, I might not necessarily agree to it, but I certainly will take it on board, and I will have a look at it and, you know, see if there is something which I could do different. Anyway, let's move on from that one. So what would I buy if I could buy anything? That's a difficult question because there's so many great vans, and even now, when I'm not even being part of the spot of the show, I don't actually know. Like, there's some amazing, amazing vans out there. Like, if money was no object, then I'd go for absolutely massive high spec, everything in it. You know, a bit like an eco wagon transporter, but on a much bigger platform, maybe the Crafter. Like, it would have heating for winter, including underfloor heating, and then of course air conditioning for when I'm in those hot countries, or even in the summer over here if we're actually going to get a decent summer. So yeah, I don't know what I would buy. I would get a daily driver, which would probably be different than what I've got now, and my opinion of that might change. So my video, which will probably be going out after this one, will probably give you more of an idea on where I'm going there. And I don't know now what I think, so you'll have to wait and see. And I'll have to wait and see as well, because I just don't know. So another question was, would I buy the Citroen Holidays over the California Ocean? Because the Citroen Holidays is much cheaper than the California Ocean. And to be honest with you, this is a personal choice. I do like the Citroen in some regards. I do like that removable kitchen which they've got. But for me, it'd have to be the California. I just prefer it. I just prefer it as a vehicle. We all know how good it is. We all know how good the residual values are of the Calais, and they've always been very strong, and this one's probably going to be no different. So actually, somebody did say that if both vehicles were financed, the actual monthly payments over a 4-year period would actually nearly be pretty much exactly the same, although the Cali would have a larger bubble payment. So, you know, or, you know, it's entirely up to you. I prefer the Cali. The question was, would I buy it? No, because I prefer the Cali, but I've not got 77 grand to spend, nor have I got 55,000 to spend for the Citroen Holidays. Although I was speaking to somebody last week, and the Citroen Holidays, I'm not sure if it's sold really well or they've got a delay in the actual build of them, but I believe that the delivery dates have moved from May to September. Don't know. If anybody's actually bought one, then maybe you could let me know in the comments, and also let me know why you bought the Citroen, what appealed to it for you, because don't get me wrong, I do like it as a vehicle. I liked it in that green colour which they had, and I think it's got some great features, and the dash is all nice and modern and things like that. And the fact that it's essentially one spec, you know, everything's pretty much included in that one price. Yeah, I do like that, to be quite honest with you. But the question was, and yeah, I would prefer the Cali. Do manufacturers watch my videos? Yes, I know that quite a few of them do. I know that a few of them seen them, and I imagine that most of the people who exhibit at the show are probably going to be happy with the videos, because a lot of my videos are obviously talking about the vans with quality, the vans which have been safely built, which is obviously what I like to discuss. I've never actually asked, does anybody watch my videos? But I do know that a few of them have commented and said, oh yeah, we watch your videos. But it's kind of difficult really, because you're going around some of these stands and you've got your camera and things like that. And there's so many people there. There's so many people. It seems to be an increasing number of people with cameras at the NEC show. So I'm pretty sure that some of them might be getting a little bit frustrated, because I know I have seen it with my own eyes, that where I'm quite respectful and I'll stand back and I'll just make sure that I'm kind of not seen, and people are kind of milling around the vans and things like that. And if somebody goes in with a camera or a phone or whatever and they're poking it round, then that's just going to kind of annoy the manufacturer, because you're preventing people from going in there and you're kind of being a little bit disrespectful. So yeah, I always kind of stand back, and it is when I've stood back with the camera that kind of people have actually approached me and made comment and asked who I am and what I do, kind of thing. So obviously that just goes to show that no, not everybody does watch my videos, which I wouldn't expect them to do. I'm only a teeny small person on this massive stratosphere that is YouTube. There's billions and billions, maybe not billions, but millions, hundreds of thousands of videos out there. And I'm just a small one, so I don't expect everybody to know who I am. But if you are watching this, then, you know, do let me know. Send me an email, and, you know, if you've got any comments or you want me to have a look at some of your vans or anything like that, then do reach out to me, contact me. So do I enjoy the show? Yes, love it. Absolutely love going to the show. Although I spend more time talking to people than actually filming. But if I didn't talk as much, then probably didn't have to be there as long. But no, it's just brilliant. I really enjoy going to the show. I enjoy speaking to exhibitors. I enjoy speaking to you people. I love hearing your stories, finding out what you've been up to, finding out what you've bought, finding out, you know, what I've missed. You know, some of you come up to me, oh, have you seen such a thing? And like, no, I haven't seen that. And then I'll kind of make my way over and go to it, or people ask me a question and then they'll go and have a look at what I've mentioned. So yeah, I just love being at the show, love speaking to people. I think it's great, very tiring, but yeah, I do actually love being at the show. And somebody did say to me, only one person I think, what have you got free? A keyring. I got a Citroen keyring. I did buy the Robbie Rome's No Fuss guides, and I bought the dog walking one, which I showed in one of the videos, or did I show it in this one? I can't remember. And yeah, I bought that, and they gave me a bag with it, a pen, an air freshener, really cool air freshener actually. I got a free Yeti cap, like you might not be able to see it, but like that one there. I got a different one this year, because when you buy 2 products, so I bought 2 cups, about 65 quid, and I got a free cap. So yeah, so either change the caps for next year. Nah, you don't need to bother changing the caps for next year. I can't be buying any more Yeti products. You can never have too much Yeti, can you? I do like the Yeti products. So yeah, that's the only things which I got free, so I didn't get anything other than free. Other than that, yeah, we don't get free things. Well, some people don't get free things. Anyway, I'm sure that I've completely bored you now with all these questions and what goes on behind the scenes. If you have found this interesting, or you've got any more questions, then do let me know in the comments. And please do stay tuned for more videos, including what I'm actually going to be driving in next week's video. I've paid to hire something, so do stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you soon.